What if we tell you that Niger has surplus reserves of crude oil? Well, you won't believe that because the West has always shown Niger as an energy-dependent country. However, after the coup, where a genius military junta began restructuring the country, Niger is unlocking its true potential. Now, it has got more oil than it needs. Therefore, it has decided to offer oil and diesel to its neighboring nations of Burkina Faso and Mali. Because Ibrahim Traoré and Colonel Assimi Goïta have the same plan, that is, to make their countries stronger, Niger General Chiani has decided to unite and take care of each other's needs. But how will the oil and diesel be delivered, and what problems will it solve? Above all, will we see a powerful alliance of the Sahel states focusing more on directly challenging the West since the energy problem has been taken care of? Let's know about everything in this video. So, how much oil and diesel Niger is offering, and what's the new deal? The deal between Niger and Mali to supply 150 million liters of diesel marks a significant breakthrough in addressing Mali's energy requirements, particularly during frequent power shortages. Mali's national energy firm, Énergie du Mali, is slated to receive this crucial diesel supply, which is vital given its financial struggles and difficulties in maintaining steady electricity provision across the nation, especially in urban centers like the capital and other towns. After the coup in Mali, the West tried to make survival difficult for the country. However, Niger decided to help its brother state, especially because both countries stand on the same ideology of getting rid of the West and its exploitation. Negotiated between Colonel Assimi Goïta, Mali's junta leader, and Mohamed Mustafa Barka, Niger's oil minister, the deal underscores the collaborative spirit between the two nations in tackling Mali's energy predicament. Niger's decision to sell diesel to Mali at nearly half. The standard rate underscores its commitment to aiding its neighbor during periods of need. Moreover, Niger's announcement in February of a memorandum of understanding to supply diesel to Mali, Burkina Faso, and Chad underscores its dedication to regional energy cooperation within the Alliance of Sahel states. By providing energy resources to neighboring nations, Niger aims not only to enhance energy security, but also to catalyze economic development and industrial expansion in the region. Niger's ambition to boost oil production to 110,000 barrels per day aligns with its broader energy objectives and regional collaboration endeavors. Through exporting surplus oil and diesel to neighboring countries like Mali and Burkina Faso, Niger seeks not only to cement its position as a key player in the global oil market, but also to facilitate the growth and rejuvenation of industries in neighboring states. This strategic approach reflects Niger's commitment to nurturing mutually beneficial energy partnerships that foster regional stability and prosperity. But that's not it. If you are keeping your eyes on what Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso have been doing lately, you can easily tell that these three countries are forming the strongest alliance. Earlier, they came together to establish the Alliance of Sahel States and, in February, declared their withdrawal from the West African bloc ECOWAS. They knew they would face challenges, and they planned to help each other during that time. But how has Niger developed its oil industry to offer surplus to Burkina Faso and Mali? Well, after seizing power in a coup, General Chiani of Niger set out on a mission to utilize the nation's resources for its advancement. Recognizing the vast potential of Niger's natural wealth, Chiani initiated ambitious endeavors focused on exploring and exploiting these resources, particularly in the oil and mining sectors. This forward-thinking strategy laid the groundwork for Niger's emergence as a significant player in the global energy market. Under General Chiani's guidance, Niger launched a series of oil exploration projects aimed at uncovering untapped reserves across the country. By utilizing modern exploration technologies, Niger began searching for oil in various regions. These efforts were driven by the belief that oil exploration and production could stimulate economic growth and development, generating revenue to support essential social and infrastructure initiatives. Earlier, soon after the coup, Niger was made to face the worst energy crisis when Nigeria cut off energy supply. Today, it's completely different, and Niger is not only fulfilling its own demands, but also helping its neighboring countries. That's what General Chiani has achieved in so little time. A pivotal moment in Niger's oil exploration occurred with the discovery of substantial reserves in the Agadem region, situated in the eastern part of the country. This breakthrough marked a turning point in Niger's energy sector, paving the way for large-scale oil production operations. General Chiani's administration swiftly capitalized on this opportunity by partnering with international oil companies to exploit the newfound reserves. The development of the Agadem oil fields necessitated significant investment in Niger's energy infrastructure, including the construction of pipelines, refineries, and other essential facilities for extracting, processing, and transporting crude oil to both domestic and international markets. These infrastructure projects not only generated employment and economic opportunities for the local population, but also positioned Niger as a key player in the global oil market. In addition to oil exploration, General Chiani prioritized the development of Niger's mining sector, recognizing the country's abundant mineral resources. Niger boasts various mineral deposits, including uranium, gold, and phosphates, which attracted attention from domestic and international investors. Under Chiani's leadership, the government implemented policies to attract investment in the mining sector and facilitate the exploration and extraction of these valuable resources. Under General Chiani's leadership, Niger's oil and mining sectors achieved remarkable success. The country emerged as a significant exporter of crude oil, surpassing domestic consumption and resulting in a surplus for international trade. This newfound wealth bolstered Niger's economy, leading to increased government revenues, job creation, and infrastructure development. Furthermore, the growth of the oil and mining sectors diversified Niger's economy, reducing dependence on traditional sectors like agriculture. This economic diversification enhanced Niger's resilience to external shocks and positioned the country to weather economic downturns more effectively. The recent signing of the Declaration of Niamey during the ECOWAS Mining and Petroleum Forum marks a significant milestone for Niger's oil and gas sector. This agreement opens the door for the Trans-Saharan Gas Pipeline project, linking Niger, Algeria, and Nigeria to the European market, enabling trade of up to 30 billion cubic meters of natural gas annually. Additionally, a $4.5 billion pipeline project is in progress, expected to quintuple production capacity by 2023, positioning Niger as an energy hub for regional and continental demand. These infrastructure initiatives aim to attract investments, expand Niger's oil and gas industry, and encourage the government to intensify exploration efforts. With favorable policies and infrastructure in place, Niger's oil and gas sector is destined to significantly boost the country's GDP, tax revenues, exports, and formal employment. But is it true that Niger has so much oil that it is even selling it to Benin? Well, yes. Niger's military leadership has launched the construction of a 2,000-kilometer-long crude oil pipeline, linking the nation's oil field at Agadem to the Benin port of Semi. This ambitious endeavor marks Niger's entry into the global crude oil market. This initiative unfolds amidst strained diplomatic ties, with the Niger-Benin border remaining closed due to severe sanctions imposed by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, following the military takeover on July 26. Despite these hurdles, energy ministers from Mali and Burkina Faso, nations that have experienced military coups in the past 2 years, and have voiced support for Niger's new leadership. Initially slated for completion in 2022, the pipeline project faced delays attributed to the global COVID-19 pandemic. The China National Petroleum Corporation, CNPC, has played a pivotal role in oil extraction, contributing to an estimated $6 billion investment in the project. Niger's government indicates that $4 billion was reserved for oil field development, while $2.3 billion was allocated to pipeline construction. This significant investment has empowered Niger to substantially boost its oil production to 110,000 barrels per day, with an official target set to further enhance to 200,000 barrels per day by 2026. With a projected upper capacity of 100,000 barrels per day, the pipeline represents a significant investment totaling $2.1 million, with the state holding a 15% share. This ambitious infrastructure endeavor, spanning Niger and Benin, is destined to revolutionize energy transportation in the region, positioning the pipeline as Africa's longest. Earlier, The Niger-Benin pipeline was being doubted after the coup in Niger. However, General Chiani has proved everyone wrong by successfully completing the pipeline and starting the oil supply. Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. So, is it true that Niger has become the new Saudi Arabia when it comes to oil? Well, the answer is yes. Major analyst organizations now have their eyes on Niger, which has completed the 110,000 barrels per day Niger-Benin pipeline. It is expected to boost Niger's crude production fivefold and turn it into a notable exporter. The easing of sanctions on Niger, led by a military junta, by the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in February, following a coup 7 months prior, allowed the China National Petroleum Corporation, CNPC, to finish building the 2,000-kilometer pipeline. Crude oil has already begun flowing through the pipeline. Benin, part of the ECOWAS regional bloc, which had imposed sanctions on Niger, faced logistical hurdles as crucial equipment was stranded in Benin, delaying the construction of several pump stations, according to sources. However, on February 24th, the bloc, largely influenced by Nigeria, announced the relaxation of sanctions for humanitarian reasons, lifting a no-fly zone, border closures, and financial restrictions on state assets like Niger's state-owned Sonidep. Despite being landlocked, Niger currently produces 20,000 barrels per day of crude from its Agadem Rift Basin, mostly for domestic use due to the lack of an export route. However, with the completion of the Chinese-built pipeline linking Kulale in Niger's oil fields to the Beninese port of Simi, production is expected to rise to 110,000 barrels per day. Benin's storage tanks are filling, and the first crude shipment is coming in. Jim Burkhardt, S&P Global's Vice President of Oil Markets, Energy, and Mobility, said that Niger is ready to become the world's newest oil exporter, highlighting the economic significance for Niger and the pipeline's impact on Benin. China, the world's largest crude importer, has increased its investments in energy and mining in Africa in recent years, aiming to secure future oil and gas supplies, tap into significant reserves of critical minerals, and expand its diplomatic influence across the rapidly growing continent. Does it mean Niger will face China controlling its energy sector? Well, the answer is no. After a military coup in Niger, General Chiani took charge in a nation grappling with political turmoil and economic challenges. Despite the country's potential in the oil sector, the general confronted a major obstacle: a lack of funds to develop its oil fields. To tackle this issue, General Chiani sought help from Chinese firms, recognizing China's strong investment capabilities and interest in natural resources. Through strategic negotiations, he aimed to leverage Chinese expertise and financial support to tap into Niger's oil potential. Crucially, General Chiani made safeguarding Niger's sovereignty and maintaining control over its oil resources a top priority. In discussions with Chinese partners, he carefully crafted agreements that empowered Niger as the ultimate decision-maker, giving it authority over allocation and pricing. These measures shielded Niger from outside interests and potential exploitation in its oil endeavors, preserving its autonomy and serving its national interests. This strategic approach allowed Niger to set terms that aligned with its economic and political goals. Niger's diplomatic gestures toward Mali highlight the tangible benefits of its oil negotiation approach. Using its status as an oil producer, Niger offered discounted oil to Mali, strengthening diplomatic relations and fostering stability in the region. Furthermore, Niger's ability to offer favorable terms to neighboring countries underscores the advantages of its dealings with Chinese partners. By retaining control over pricing and distribution, Niger promotes goodwill and cooperation in the region, bolstering its geopolitical standing. General Chiani's strategy for oil development embodies a delicate balance of economic practicality and long-term vision. By engaging with Chinese entities while safeguarding national interests, he positioned Niger to harness its oil resources for the well-being of its people and the wider region. Of course, Chinese companies are profiting, but the profit is fair because the agreements are fair and not exploitative. So, will Niger use its oil diplomacy to expand the alliance of the Sahel states? Under General Chiani's guidance, Niger has undergone a transformation, now ready to use oil diplomacy to form alliances and strengthen its regional influence. In the past, Niger lacked the economic power and tangible incentives to attract other African nations to its side. However, recent developments in its oil sector and collaborations with Chinese companies have changed that. The absence of significant benefits in the past hindered Niger's ability to gain support and expand initiatives like the Alliance of the Sahel States. Without substantial resources or appealing incentives, Niger struggled to assert itself as a major player in regional politics and diplomacy. But with Niger now producing oil under General Chiani's leadership, this narrative has shifted. With vast reserves of oil, the country is now able to offer valuable benefits to potential allies. These benefits could include discounted oil access, economic partnerships, and opportunities for regional cooperation and development. Consequently, African nations may reconsider their reliance on Western energy sources in favor of more reliable and cost-effective alternatives from Niger. This change in perspective presents Niger with an opportunity to strengthen diplomatic ties and expand its influence within the continent. By positioning itself as a trustworthy energy partner and advocating for regional self-sufficiency in energy production, Niger can become a leader in promoting stability and prosperity across Africa. Additionally, initiatives like the Alliance of the Sahel States stand to benefit greatly from Niger's improved capabilities and diplomatic efforts. With Niger's newfound resources and willingness to engage in oil diplomacy, the alliance can attract more member states and increase its impact in addressing common challenges and driving development in the Sahel region. Ultimately, General Chiani's leadership has positioned Niger for a more significant role in African affairs through strategic oil diplomacy. By fostering partnerships, promoting regional cooperation, and advocating for energy independence, Niger has the potential to make a substantial contribution to a more connected and resilient Africa, united in its quest for collective progress and prosperity. But what more shocking Niger is planning to do now? Many earlier believed that Niger's junta did not know what to do with the country. However, now, as their groundbreaking plans are being revealed, more people are acknowledging that Niger's junta is perhaps the most genius. Now, it plans to finance the Alliance of the Sahel States and make it powerful using capital from oil exports. You should know that Niger's shift to becoming an oil-exporting nation has profound implications for its neighbors, especially Mali and Burkina Faso, both part of the Alliance of the Sahel States. This alliance, primarily geared toward military cooperation and regional security, stands to gain significantly from Niger's global oil exports. The revenue generated can be pivotal in funding efforts to modernize military capabilities, procure advanced weaponry, and ultimately enhance the alliance's ability to address security challenges across the Sahel region. Mali and Burkina Faso encounter similar security threats to Niger, such as insurgency and transnational crime. The Alliance of the Sahel States was formed to strengthen cooperation among member nations in tackling these challenges, with a core focus on boosting military capabilities and fostering regional stability. However, the alliance often faced limitations due to inadequate financial resources, impeding its effectiveness in addressing these threats. But now, Niger's newfound oil wealth provides an opportunity to address this financial shortfall and bolster the alliance's military capabilities. By engaging in global oil trade, Niger can generate substantial revenue to invest in modernizing and equipping the armed forces of member states. This investment may include procuring advanced weaponry, improving surveillance technology, implementing training programs, and enhancing infrastructure to bolster operational effectiveness and response capabilities. Furthermore, revenue from oil exports can facilitate collaborative military initiatives among alliance members. This could entail joint military exercises, intelligence sharing, and coordinated operations to combat shared security threats more efficiently. Through pooling resources and expertise, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger can collectively strengthen their defense capabilities and enhance stability and security in the region. Additionally, Niger's oil exports can spur broader economic development and prosperity in Mali and Burkina Faso, indirectly supporting the alliance's goals. Increased revenue from oil exports can stimulate economic growth, generate employment opportunities, and attract investment in critical infrastructure and social services. This, in turn, can address underlying socio-economic grievances and mitigate conditions conducive to extremism and instability in the region. Now, Niger is no longer the same. Not only does it have bargaining power in Africa, but even on world matters now. And because Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso have formed a confederation already, it will inevitably raise them all on the global stage. As of now, we are seeing only Mali getting diesel in limited quantities. But quite soon, we can see Niger establishing refineries in Mali and Burkina Faso and storage capacities. What do you think? Should Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali trade among themselves to ensure mutual growth despite Western sanctions? Do you already feel that these three countries are the initial form of a united Africa, where each country takes care of the other? In the comment section right below, share your thoughts on the future of these countries' alliance. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.